All right, looks like we're live. Hey everyone, it's Pete, and this is our group two coaching call, our second one. And so far, it's almost a one-on-one. Now there's three of us in the call, so that's cool. If you happen to be on the event page and you're just watching this as a video instead of joining us live in the call, what you can do is look in the comments right below that video. So you can like pause the video, look in the comments, and I placed a link down below where you can actually click it and join us here in the Hangout. So if you want to do that, go ahead and click that anytime up till we get a full house. So once we have 10 people, then you won't be able to join anymore. But if you see that we're not full, please click the link and join us live. So before we actually get started, because Emily and I were chatting before the call actually began, and she had a couple of really good questions that I think everybody wants to know and you'll benefit from. But let's start off with a quick victory. So I'll go first. My big victory this week, I'll share, I guess, a professional one. I've been doing a lot of Facebook advertising over the last probably 12 to 16 months. I did some advertising before that, but I've really been focusing heavily on it for like the last year, and it's been working out really, really well, extremely profitable, very high return on investment, and I started a new ad this week, and so far it's doing great, so that's my big victory. And we'll just kind of go round robin. I'll go left to right for you guys, and share something quick. It can be personal or professional. So Emily, we'll start with you.
Okay. Today, actually, I secured two new interviewees for my Empower You TV series, and one is a gentleman in England by the name of Matt Kinsella, who is somebody who went from being a homeless teen to a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur, and the other one is in Australia who was a multi-millionaire by the age of 23. So both have come from really humble backgrounds. Obviously, Matt came from being homeless. So yeah, I've got a couple of fantastic candidates to interview for the series.
Awesome, congratulations. And how can people find your website? Can you share your URL or say it out loud and maybe type it in the chat box too?
Well, this is my other big question, because I'm actually making the website in the challenge. So that's why I'm a little concerned. Because I've got someone who can do up a website for me, but I haven't bothered because of what we're doing through the challenge. So is that wrong? Should I have another website made separately to the one we're doing in the challenge?
No, I wouldn't. I was just more or less asking you to share it for the group because I've seen your interview and you're a really good interviewer. So I thought everybody would like to jump on and watch the Hangout.
Well, I've got a Facebook page and a Google Plus, like all the social media is in place, but it's kind of killing me not having a website at the moment because for the pure purpose of using this challenge to actually create it. But it is a normal website that we're creating. Am I under the right understanding, or is it a separate membership site? Because I had that confusion today. I've thought all along that we are creating an actual website from scratch. Am I right?
Yep, you are doing that, and that's another great question. So let's go through a couple more victories, and then remember that, and I'll get back to it.
Sure.
That's a strategy thing, and
Okay.
I'll tell you basically like the three different strategies that you have available, at least in my experience with our current setup.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Irene, quick victory. I think you have yourself muted. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. There's something wrong with my camera, so I needed to get a microphone as well.
No problem.
Okay, let me just sit down a little bit. My victory? My personal victory or my... Well,
either one. Totally up to you.
It's actually the same thing. I went to my work today, and I'm a coach. I helped a lot of people, and especially this one girl. She's really shy and she doesn't talk much, but she lit up today. So it's really a good thing.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for sharing. And looks like we have JD on the call too. Hi, JD.
Well, actually, I have a couple of victories, celebrations. First, I found out how to get on the Hangout this morning. I was searching all over.
Awesome.
That, I noticed that Irene met the challenge with whatever it takes because her camera didn't work, and so she found the microphone to get on. So, kudos, Irene. My victory is personal. It's I ran 12 miles in San Francisco last weekend, preparing for a half marathon next weekend, and it's a gorgeous run. Starts, if you know anything about San Francisco, it starts just at the north end by the Golden Gate Bridge, and ran along the bay, which is called the Embarcadero, down to a baseball stadium whose name I won't mention because I'm a Dodger fan. Looped it and came all the way back. So a lot of fun.
Awesome. Congratulations. And for those of you that have never been to San Francisco, the hills are a killer. I would never run there. So kudos to you. That's awesome. All right. So let's get back to Emily, everyone. Thanks for sharing your victories today. I appreciate it. So Emily had some really good questions. So let me just go back to the beginning, and I'll just do a quick recap for those that weren't here. So number one, Emily wanted to know what the link was for the outsourcing because apparently there was something wrong with the email system this week and it didn't get sent like it has done the previous few weeks. The link is the exact same as week 1, week 2, and week 3. The only difference would be the number at the very end is now a 4. So I put it into the chat box for the Hangout. I'll put it into the chat box inside right here, and you'll see it's just membershipsitecentral.com /elite-outsourcing-submission-4 because this is our 4th one. So then next week just use the exact same link but change it to a 5, and then the week after that same thing, change it to a 6, and so on. So, so hopefully now you don't have to worry about missing any emails from Alex or Sean. The next question Emily asked was about the outsourcing. She was under the impression that whenever we sent something to the outsourcing company, because we shared all of our account information with them, that we would start seeing these updates on those accounts that we shared, or that we would even receive, something from the outsourcing company, whether it was a report, whether it was a transcript of the video, whatever, so we could at least see what they're doing. Initially, when Alex partnered up with the third-party company that's doing this, that was the impression that he was under, Alex and Sean. But then he found out after we started, actually after that first week, that the owner of that company and his partners recommend that we start with completely fresh accounts. So we don't use any of our existing ones. They actually go out and they're creating new ones for us, which if you go through the regular course, like you should have received like some login information for the Hangout Millionaire training program. So as soon as you signed up for that outsourcing and like paid the $1 to give him your credit card, you would have received a couple of emails from him. And if you log in, you'll actually see like that third-party company, they've got their own training program and system that basically takes you through exactly what they're doing, and they have everybody that pays to join create their own accounts, is what it looks like to me. So here they're actually doing it for us, so we don't have to do that work, and then they're taking those videos and doing what they do with them as far as multi-purposing and sharing and submitting all that information to all those accounts that they created, but still linking back to either our website or our landing page, which is the top of our funnel. So technically, we're not going to really see what they're doing unless you happen to receive some emails with that email address that you gave them. Like I know in mine, I see that I'm getting notifications from all these different social media websites and stuff that I've never heard of, and they're talking about what I missed this week, or do I like these photographs or whatever. So that has to do because these guys are submitting stuff to those sites, and they're just coming back to my email. So I know they're doing something, even if I don't know exactly what they're doing. And then the last thing is Emily wanted to know if we can actually see if anyone is like joining our list or anything like that yet. And the answer is yes. So if you go inside of your membership site dashboard, and on the upper left-hand side, there is something called My Online Lists, and that's where we give you an iContact account. iContact is the program that we use to manage the email addresses and the names of the people that we're getting. So as you get further into the challenge, you will have tasks that basically show you what to do in iContact, how to make sure you have like a customized welcome email that goes out as soon as people join, how to add additional automated emails in a sequence if you want to do that, or also how to just send out an email blast. So it's not something that's automated. You would log in, create your email, and then send it out to the entire list or to a portion of the list. It's up to you. So iContact is a fairly easy program to use. I have an iContact account. I use it quite a bit. And in fact, I've tried multiple list management programs, including Aweber, Constant Contact, MailChimp, and Infusionsoft to some degree. And there's another one, although I can't remember. Oh, Office Autopilot, which was another one, very, very powerful program similar to Infusionsoft. And then I've been talking to guys over the last few years, including somebody that owns a list company with millions and millions of names, and all they do is like build their lists and then sell advertising in the form of email blasts to those lists, and they had all kinds of different tests that they ran as well, including like deliverability, ease of use, and like the relationship working with the company that created the software. And they use iContact as well, which really, really surprised me because they send out, like I said, millions and millions of emails like every single month. So if they choose iContact, then that was like a real eye-opener for me. So it must be a great program. So if you haven't seen any of those tasks yet related to iContact, or Emily, like with regards to like changing up your site, starting to customize it and build it, those are coming up like very soon. If you haven't seen any yet in the current week or the previous weeks, you will certainly see them over the next couple of weeks. And I don't know exactly, like, where are you right now, Emily, with regards to the challenge? Like, what week are you on?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so I'm a little bit all over the place. I've done bits and pieces from all the weeks. What I've got to really go back and do, like I've done, I've been really focusing heavily on the Hangouts and working on sort of the back end side of things. But when it comes to the actual website, I've done all the social media stuff. What I really need to concentrate on is going back now and just adding in the content and adding in affiliate links and just basically fleshing it out.
Yeah. Okay, so out of the 5 weeks, you just jumped around and did bits and pieces essentially.
Yeah, I haven't really touched on 5 except for the Hangout submission.
Okay.
And yeah. So
Okay.
Week 1 I'm done. Week 2 I'm almost done. Week 3 is partial, and same with week 4. I think I've done 1 or 2 things in week 4, but
Yeah.
I really need to just knuckle down. And next week I've got some solid days and just flesh it out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So certainly over the next couple of weeks, you'll get more into customizing the website itself, and certainly getting into iContact and doing some stuff in there. So the process and what you have as far as like you asked if you were building a membership site, if you're building a website, what exactly are we building? So what we have is yes, it is a website and it is a membership site. And the way you use it is really going to depend on your business model. So there are some people, some companies, that the only thing that they show publicly on their membership site is like the home page with a little bit of information about, who they are, what they do, and how they can join the program. An about page, which maybe goes into more detail about themselves and about the website and the community inside and the type of information they're going to find, and then a sales page, which goes over like all the details of what they actually get if they join, and then like a buy now button where they could like sign up and actually pay to become a member, and that's it. So it's essentially strictly a membership site, and all of the content other than those few pages is hidden behind the scenes, and you have to pay to get them. So that's one option. A second option would be the complete opposite, where all they have is like a free version. So you still join the membership, but you don't pay to get access to the content inside. They also have content on the outside as well that's public that anyone can see. So the only real advantage to joining versus not joining is somehow you have to sell them on the idea that the free content on the inside is better or more premium than the free content on the outside. So that's one method I wouldn't recommend, but that's what some people do. And then there's another group that what they do is they have a public side that people see, but they only put summaries or small blurbs or the beginning of the article. So you'll see the title, you'll see the description of what it is, and then if they want the full content, they'll have to click that link, and then basically to see it, they'll have to join and start paying. And and there's a lot of like major newspapers or magazines that use that exact same formula. In fact, I just signed up for like the Washington Post just because I got a free subscription for my local newspaper, and their website was the exact same way. I could read just a bit, and if I wanted to read the whole article, I had to pay like a monthly subscription fee. So there's a lot of people that do that. And then I guess the fourth and the last option that you have is to have a set of articles that are public, that anybody can see, and then all of your premium content is behind the scenes and it's hidden. And if they want to see that premium content, they have to pay.
Well, it's funny because Sean said at the beginning, way back when, that the best business model initially for what I'm doing is to have it as free content, just to build the list and to get the tribe happening. But what I guess I could do is make a section of it, like 3 minutes of a 40-minute episode for free, and then if they want to see the rest of the episode, they need to click on the link, but then essentially it's free for them to click on the link, but that just ensures that I've got them as a member.
Yep. Yeah, and what that means essentially is that because you have them as a member, you can communicate with them via email because you'll have their email address.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just keep building that relationship, and eventually when you decide to either sell something as your own product or service, some kind of premium content, or even recommend something as an affiliate, then you'll be able to email them about it, and then if they click on the link and buy something, then you'll get a commission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or membership or whatever down the track, or
Exactly. So what Sean is recommending is really, if you look at Alex's funnel, that's what he does. So you see him doing interviews with experts every single week, and he gets as many people on as he can. And some of those people that he interviews, they're selling some type of product or service where Alex is an affiliate, and he'll give you a link that you can visit, either live on the Hangout, or if you're watching the replay, or in the comments, or in the email that he sends out or something. And if you end up buying that expert's program, then Alex will get a sales commission for that. There's other experts that don't sell anything, or that do sell something, but they don't give Alex any commissions. But he still interviews them because it's great content. It's great for his tribe or his readers or followers, and then that's that free content that he provides to you, and it builds his relationship with you, his credibility as an interviewer and as an expert in his niche, and that's exactly what Sean is probably recommending to you, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's fab. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So, any questions about the outsourcing, about the submission of it, what they're doing, or the membership site as far as structure, or what you can do with it from a business model perspective?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep.
I was just wondering about the repurposing, because I listened to a Hangout with Sean, and there was a lady there that she said that, yes, now I'm repurposing my video and my Hangout, and I'm making it into an article. And I'm thinking, is that something we're supposed to or can do? Take the content that we made a Hangout from and make it into an article as well?
Well, yeah, of course. It's your content, so you can certainly do with it whatever you want, and that's something that we certainly recommend, because it's easy. You don't have to just keep creating something from scratch out of thin air. You already have something that you've created, which we'll say in this case is the Hangout video. Now you can very easily take whatever you talked about on that video and turn it into an article, or even pull out the audio portion of it and use the audio file as like a podcast on iTunes. Alex does that as well. So lots of different options of what you can do with it. You can even break it down into small bits, and then that's what you use to share on like your social media sites. So it could be just like, if you're using Twitter, then small little 140 character posts that are really just bullet points from that content that you spoke about. So lots and lots of different options that you have available.
How do I do the thing that you said about the audio? Is it like
How do you do it?
through YouTube? How through YouTube, or how do I get the audio?
Yeah, so you've got the YouTube video, and basically there's some type of software program that strips the audio for you, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you can either
Audible.
What is it?
Audible.
Audible. Okay, thank you.
Audible? Okay.
And that's probably just one. I'm sure there's several different options, and if you just Google it, yeah. Thanks for putting that in the chat box, Emily.
That's okay.
So if you just Google it, or even go to the G+ers community that we're using for this program, and if you hit plus Sean Adams, that'll like tag Sean in the post, and you can ask them if they use Audible or if there's any other program that they recommend for stripping audio, and he might have an answer for you. But I think either Sean. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I think either Sean or Dan Safkow is probably the production person that does all that work with Alex's videos and audios and all that sort of thing. So Sean should know, or Dan Safkow, if we put his name in the chat box. You can always reach out to him on Google Plus or Facebook or something like that. And great guy, very helpful, and has done a lot of Alex's video production work over the last few years. All right. So I guess we'll open it up, since there's only three of us. Any other questions or updates from anyone? And if not, then I can always throw you under the bus and just call you out.
Oh, when people when you hold a Google Hangout,
Mm-hmm.
And so say I'm interviewing one other person, if I want on the replay, if I want their face to be on when they're talking, am I in control of that? Do I click on their face when they're talking, and then click on me when I'm talking?
Exactly. So whoever started the Hangout, in fact, I don't know how, but I accidentally blue boxed myself, is what it's called. So I clicked on myself. So if I click off, now just go ahead and start talking.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm talking, and
and it automatically switched over to you, and then when I talk, it automatically switches over to me. And if Irene were to start talking.
How do you do that?
Yeah, if I start talking, that my name will come up or my picture will come up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now the
Oh,
only thing happens if we talk over ourselves, then it kind of jumps back and forth a little bit. But yeah, that's how that works. And it's let me see, it's automatic. But there's an app over on the left-hand side. I don't know if you guys have it because I'm the one that actually started the Hangout. But there's an app on
Hmm.
the left-hand side called Cameraman, and that's basically where you set it up to like automatically switch back and forth. Or if I just want to select one person, I can just blue box them and click on it. Like now I have JD, and only his image will show. So even if
I don't
someone
see
else was,
my, I don't see my image though.
you don't. Well, I'm doing the
oh,
recording, so I'm the one that sees it, and whoever's watching this video on the
Oh,
outside, they'll see it.
okay. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do like Emily or Irene? Do you see JD, or do you just still see me when I'm talking?
When you're talking now, I can see only you.
And then when you talk, does it switch over to you?
No,
Yes, it does.
it does. You can see me.
I can see
Okay,
Irene right
because
now.
I don't see myself.
Yeah, when you talk, it should automatically switch over to like your face because you're not using your camera. Whenever you speak, like your whatever image you uploaded to Google Plus is what shows up in the middle of the screen for us.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me turn this off. There we go. So like when Alex does his Hangouts, usually he'll have like an assistant join with him, whether it's Sean or Sandra or Dan Safkow or somebody else. And typically, what would happen, depending on the type of hangout he's doing, if he really needs to concentrate on, the camera and the content and delivering like a really excellent hangout without worrying about like anything else, then he'll have an assistant that starts the hangout for him, sends him the link so that he can join the hangout, and he usually does this 15 to 30 minutes prior to the time that the hangout is scheduled, and he calls it the green room. So that just means show up to the hangout early and make sure that that you're on, that your guests are on, whoever you want to invite, whoever you're going to interview before you open it up to the public to join, and then whoever the assistant is, the production assistant, handles all of this stuff for him. So they would be the ones that share the link out there with the public. They're the ones that moderate the comments either inside the Hangout or on the event page, because people that can't access the Hangout live, if they're just watching out on the event page, watching that video, a lot of times they'll be posting questions in the comments below, and it's really difficult if you're the host to try to change your focus like back and forth like I am here. If it were just Alex doing it or just me, then I'm talking to you guys, but now I have to take my focus away. So I'm looking at the camera, we're talking about something, but now I have to look over here, switch over to the event page and see if anybody left a message, and then I have to switch back and hey, I'm back. And then if I want to check the comments, I have to click on the comments icon over here and then look over here and see what I'm, and it could be a little bit difficult. Alex is still very good at it because he has lots of practice, but it's much easier if you have a production assistant. And a lot of times that person would be in charge of like muting people and unmuting them if there's a lot of background noise, um, kicking people out if they're being like rude or obnoxious or something, um, answering questions in the chat box, or keeping a list of questions for Alex. And then when Alex would say, "Okay, do we have any questions?" and the assistant would jump in and say, "Yep, from the event page, we've got 6 questions right now, and here they are." And then he would read the question to Alex, and then Alex would answer it. So there's a lot of benefits to having somebody on there that can help you manage the Hangout, so you can just focus either on your guest or on the content you're delivering. And I think Emily accidentally dropped off. Hopefully she'll come back. All right. So, any other questions about Hangouts? I know that that Irene, you've been practicing and getting better. JD, how about you? How have your outsourcing Hangouts been going? Have you been doing them every week, and how do you find them to be?
No, I haven't done any of them yet. It's a matter of trying to take. I've got a lot of material, but try to repurpose it down to something that'll fit 5 to 7 minutes, and I have not been able to do that because all of my material is a minimum of 30 minutes because they're all teaching sessions.
All right. So,
I mean,
is it,
I could just go and talk, but it'll be totally worthless. There's
yeah.
nothing there.
So, is it possible to pick just one of those lessons, one 30-minute lesson, and just kind of, break that into those? And it doesn't. I mean, 7 to 10 is ideal, but my first video was like 4 minutes, and then the second one was like 6, and the third one was like 7.5. So they're getting longer. But is it possible to break it down into smaller bits and just focus, to go deeply on that one lesson?
Uh, no.
Okay.
Well, I haven't been able to do that. I've thought of that before, and I've also thought about, okay, is there some way where I can just identify the benefits? And that's the one I'm struggling with right now. Just try to come up with benefits and put it into some sort of context where it actually makes sense. But no, I've been doing these training sessions with my clients for 14 years, and I'm very comfortable with them. But you can't get started without actually building. You set a basic premise at the beginning, and you build on that to the conclusion, and then you go back and you circle to review the lessons that you've actually learned through the process. And I can't do it in less than 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, I guess if it were me, because the outsourcing is limited and it's included with the program, I think I would just find a way to just bust through it, even if it if it's a sloppy success kind of recording, and try to do my best to break that one lesson down in the bits, even if it doesn't make sense for somebody to just watch that video on its own, but it has to continue into the next video. I would somehow try to break it down and stop at a logical spot and say, okay, this is what we covered, so far. Next week we're going to continue and tune into the next video or next article, and this is what we're going to do. And then when you shoot that next video, say, quick recap. This is where we came from last week. This is what I'm going to cover today. So then you cover it, and then try to end at a logical spot. And then next week, this is what we're going to cover. So make sure you tune in, because it's going to be a hell of a great week next week. And just do your best, because we only have a total of 9 weeks of outsourcing, and this is already week number 4. So that only you're
5, isn't it?
You're quick. Is it 5 already? Wow, I thought it was 4, but let's see.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think this is our 4th one. I thought.
We're in week 5 on the challenge site, though.
But week 4 on the outsourcing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because we didn't do any outsourcing that first week, if you remember.
Okay. JD?
Yeah.
I have a suggestion. Maybe you can use the outsourcing for just some kind of making kind of an interest for your Hangouts or for your material on your list, so you can make like a commercial kind of a thing on the 7 minutes, and then you can make them come to my site, and you can log in and take the tour, and then you can see what I'm talking about more, and then do a longer Hangout that you you put into your site for people to watch then, and you don't send that away, but you can do as many Hangouts as you want. But just don't send the 30 minutes out. You send some kind of a
teaser
training or teaser that you can tell them, this is what I'm going to talk about. Join me for blah blah blah, and then you do the 30 minutes.
I appreciate that, Irene, because your suggestion and what Pete was talking about, I got to thinking about something that was in the back of my mind is everybody's concerned about debt, how much they owe, and I got thinking, I think maybe I can do something with that. Uh, as you suggested, come up with a teaser and then lead them into, okay, this is how you get out of debt and still have more money when you get out of debt than if you hadn't done it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll listen to that.
Okay.
I need that
You and a lot of, probably about 6 billion people in the world. Thanks.
Well, I think there's a lot of us, out of that 6 billion that would like to learn how to reduce our debt. So
Yeah, right.
it's certainly something I would listen to as well.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Well, I've already got a list of 2.
Great idea, Irene. All right, so another thing I'll do is I'm going to paste into the chat box here the link for the leaderboard if you haven't received that via email yet. So you can click on that link and check your standings to see how you compare it to everyone else in the group. So I check the leaderboard about once a day just to see where everyone's at, and there might be a slight delay sometimes in the registration of the points, but for the most part, from what I see, it's pretty real time. And then if you end up being tied with someone, let's see, it should apply the points based on like when you completed them. So say for example, I'm looking at the leaderboard now, and spots 2 and 3 have the exact same number of points, 1,720, but they have to be ranked somehow. So unless it's by order of alphabetical by their last name, which I don't think it is, it's going to be by whenever you completed those points. So if you haven't checked out your place, take a look at the leaderboard, and what I do is just use it to try to get a gauge of where you're at and be able to tell if you're completing the tasks or not. And then if you're not, I'll reach out to you independently, via email, or ask you to schedule a coaching call, or we'll talk about it on your next call and see what the holdup is. So so Irene, we had our call yesterday, and you're doing very well. Basically, you're just behind this 1 week, week number 5 here, the challenge, and essentially once you complete that, you'll be right up at the top with everyone else. JD, you're a little bit.
I was on the top last week, so I know how it works. I went from number 1 and then all the way down to what it is, number 10 or something now.
Yeah, something
I just had to do the task.
But you can see how easy it is to get caught up quickly just by completing those tasks. And then JD, you're a little bit lower. You're probably in the lower third of the people with just over 500 points. So if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably about a week or 2's worth of tasks in the challenge.
Yeah, I'm in 3.
You're in week 3 right now. Yeah, okay, good. So so you'll also find that you'll very quickly, if you look at the leaderboard, it may look bad because you're down in the lower third. Mm-hmm. But just getting through like week 3 and week 4 will very quickly get you back up near the top. And in the tasks, unfortunately, the farther you go into the challenge, I think a little bit more detailed some of them become. So you'll see that some of them are going to be a little bit repetitive every week, meaning we ask you to go out and do some social media updates. And and the reason we do that is because we want you to get used to building that top level funnel. So I don't know if Sean says it in the video because I don't recall, but when you do those social media posts, I would share a link back to my opt-in page. So I would give a blurb related to my topic, and then I would say, for more information or to learn more or get your free report or whatever, I'm going to change up my copy a little bit, my ad copy, but it's going to be a link back to that opt-in page so they can get my free download, and then I'll get their email address, and then I can follow up with them and build that relationship in the future. So so some of those tasks are going to be related to actually building your business and the marketing funnel that we're trying to instill in you, so that after the challenge it becomes kind of second nature, and you can just keep doing those tasks and keep building your business the same way that Alex does. But then there's going to be other ones that do have to do with modifying your site, with going into eye contact and creating the emails, connecting PayPal if you haven't done yet, so that you can actually receive money when people join the site. So there are things that are a little bit more technical in nature, and maybe the videos are a little bit longer and will take a little bit more time. So I will pre-warn you that you will run into that, but still it should be very easy for you to get caught up just by spending an hour a day, in some cases less, just doing those tasks and ticking them off the list.
Okay.
All right. So so with the challenge so far, with the first few weeks, have you run into any big obstacles or hurdles other than struggling to shorten your content for those outsourcing videos?
Well, the other is frequently when I'm working on the tasks, I've run into challenges trying to actually get into the dashboard where, and you've helped me a couple of times just trying to get into the dashboard where it's supposed to be. Some of the links apparently that I was supposed to have hadn't been set up, or I missed something beforehand. So those are the only struggles that I've had, because it hasn't flowed as the way I thought it should.
Okay. Have you been able to resolve those then for the most part, and now you can log into your dashboard, log into to the challenge site, actually see the tasks and everything?
Well, the reason I can't is because I keep them permanently opened.
Okay.
I don't struggle with that anymore. They're open.
All right. Well, you can always, if you have them open, you can always, save those links into a master file somewhere, and that way, if anything happens, like if your computer,
right,
reboots itself and then erases all your cookies in your browser, right. At least you can access them again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, if you ever get stuck anywhere, don't hesitate to send me a Skype message if you use Skype, or send me an instant message on Google Plus. There's a couple of people in the group that I really help about once a day, because they're working through something and they get stuck or they run into a challenge, and then I'll get a little message that pops up that says, "Hey Pete, are you there?" And if I'm not busy, then I can respond right away, and then it won't waste your day like either A, trying to figure it out, or B, like sending me an email and then waiting for a response, and then you move on to something else, so you lose focus, and then you never get back to the challenge because life gets in the way. You move on to something else, and then you'll get back to it tomorrow, and then maybe that obstacle, that roadblock is still there. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask for support if you get stuck anytime with anything.
You said two things. First of all, I don't Skype, and so I would have to spend the time to try to figure out how to Skype.
Yeah.
And you said instant message Google. I don't know how to instant message anything. Is there a tutorial someplace where I could learn to instant message using Google Plus?
Yeah. Well, obviously you can Google it. That should be very easy to do.
Good point.
So that's one. Number two, did you get that little when I started this call? Did you get the little thing that popped up that said, "Hi everyone, here's the link to join the group coaching Hangout Live," and has a link in it?
That's how yeah. There was the first one. Actually, there were three. The first two, it went to a 400-page error page, and then the third one was actually said Google Plus. Was that an instant message?
Yeah, let me I'm going to do this right now. So I'm typing in there, sending JD an instant message. Did you get any notification that popped up on your screen that says that for me? Sending JD an instant message.
No. I got to see. No, the only thing I've got is your message to Emily saying thanks for joining today. That's all I got.
Okay. So that's another way to reach out to me. So basically, inside of Google Plus, if you just go to, let me.
I could do what you suggested. Google it and find out. There's got to be some sort of step-by-step
Yeah,
process that they.
there is for sure. Or you could just go to like inside of Google Plus, inside of your like home page, where it says like share what's new. If you press plus and then start typing in my name, Pete, my name will pop up. So I'm gonna do that now with you. So plus JD, and then I'm gonna select you, and then I'm gonna type in sending you a private message. Let me do this. I'm gonna share my screen real quick and just show this to you. Can you guys see my screen right now, this infinity effect that's going on? Inside of the
Yes,
Hangout?
I can. Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to click back over to Google+. So let me cancel this. So here I am in Google+. I'm just on my home screen. And right here it says what's new. So I'm going to click in there. And if I click plus and I start typing your name, JD, you pop up, so I can select you. And then I'm just going to put sending you a private message.
Yes.
And then where it says to, I don't want to send this to everybody, so I'm going to uncheck that and just leave it here. And then I'm going to click share. And now what should happen is you should get a notification from Google as long as you're like logged into Google Plus with this message. So then you can comment back, and we can basically talk back and forth privately on Google Plus. So you should get like a red notification up here at the top that says like
all I've got is the Hangout on my. I got the Hangout on my screen. So do I have to put another window up for Google Plus?
Yeah, it would be the other window where you have Google Plus open.
Okay, I don't see. Okay.
So depending on how you have your Google Plus settings, like this little notifications icon that's on the upper right-hand side of Google Plus, it looks like a bell. If you click on that, you should have a notification.
I had to refresh the screen.
Okay. And
then the only thing I got here was a comment. I know not all of you will be able. That was the notice I got there.
Yeah.
So I still haven't gotten the instant.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. After we get off the Hangout, we can always practice a little bit back and forth, like sending private messages, and then see how you get it.
Okay.
And then that's. I usually have like a Gmail or G Plus open during the day, so if if we figure it out, then we can just send private messages back and forth that are like instant as well.
Okay.
Okay. Because I also have like this this Google Hangout app that's open right here, and this is where I typed in sending JD an instant message. So
Right.
you should have got notification of all these messages too, somewhere.
Somewhere.
Exactly. All right, cool. Well, is there anything else that I can assist either one of you with today? Any other support?
I think I'm cool so far.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. We're gonna do a group coaching session about once a week, and then we're gonna have one left that we'll do after the live event. So I think it'll be a good good way to wrap up the program because you'll be able to do basically all of the challenge activities before the live event, and then hopefully most of you are going to be attending that live event, and then we'll get together once as a group afterwards, just as as a recap. And I think it'll be really good because when you go to that live event, you'll get some new ideas about what to do with your site. You'll learn more about Hangouts and how you can utilize them in your business. And I think it'll be like a really good kind of way to do some brainstorming as a group, and then just talk about everything that you learned and how you can apply it moving forward since the challenge will be over. So I'll send out one more request to have that meeting. It'll be sometime the end of July after the Hangout. So if you can just all respond to that when you can, and we'll go from there. So thanks again. If you need anything, please reach out anytime, and I'll do my best to support you.